my channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you are brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to ring that notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today what I'm going to do is a drugstore starter kit. This is not my drugstore favorites. I've done a drugstore favorites. If you'd like to see that video, I will have it linked down below. But today what I'm going to do is a drugstore starter kit. So these are products that I think work in multiple different ways. If you're going to spend money on makeup, I think these are the products that I would personally start with. I think you get the best bang for your buck. They are all from the drugstore because I think if you are brand new to makeup, if you've never really played with makeup a whole lot, or if you're just looking for some really good products, drugstore I think is a really great place to start. They have tons of really great, incredible products that just work so well, almost as good as high-end products. And a lot of these are those products I believe perform just as good as some high-end products. Everything on my face is something I will mention. I'll let you know what products I have on my face. I did do a quick little drugstore tutorial, something super easy for beginners. That is the video I uploaded right before this video. So if you'd like to see what would be in my drugstore starter kit, just keep watching. I'm going to mention them in the order that I applied, just so I don't forget anything, because I do have quite a lot of products in front of me. I love trying out different products and I like having options. I am one person that I love matte lipstick one day, a glossy one the next, like glowy skin one day, matte the next. I love to change up my makeup looks, so I do have options for pretty much everything I suggest, because I know there are so many different types of skin. There are dry skin, oily skin kind of combinations. So I want to show products that I think would work best for any type of skin that you might possibly have. So I'm going to go ahead and start with eyebrows because that is where I start every time. I do my eyebrows and then I continue on with my eyes and then I do my face. So if you were looking for some really great eyebrow products, one of my absolute favorite and most repurchased is the E.L.F. This is the Wow Brow. I have this in taupe. This is a really great fiber-filled brow gel. It doesn't have a ton of hold. It's just a very light hold, but I love that that it has fibers in it. This is something, if you have very sparse eyebrows, it really does fill in with the sparse areas of your brows. It makes them look very natural, and what I love most about this color is if I ever get my eyebrows too dark. I think nothing ruins a makeup look more than too dark or too harsh of brows. So if I ever get my eyebrows too harsh, too dark, too much, and I want to tone it down a little bit, taupe is a perfect color because it does match my hair color, and then it kind of tones my brows down. I use this all the time. It fills in the sparse areas. It makes it look a little bit more bushy. If I was picking one brow product, this would be it. But I also do love a clear brow gel. I use them daily. The clear brow gel from the drugstore is the E.L.F. It's the double-ended. I have used that a ton. I've gone through probably 10 of them. I don't have any right now because I am trying a different one, but that was the one I would suggest. It is $3, super inexpensive. And if you just want your brows to not move throughout the day and just stay in place, you want kind of that laminated brow look, the gel for you, it works really well, keeps them in place, and lasts all day long. To fill in my brows, if I do feel like I want to fill them in, I haven't been using a pencil very often, if at all, ever. I normally use a pen, but when I did use a pencil, the one I really loved is the Loreal. This is the Brow Stylist Definer. This is a really great middle of the road, not too waxy, definitely pigmented enough, not overly pigmented, really small. This is a really great pencil, really inexpensive. You can find it really anywhere that has Loreal. This is a really great pencil. But what I have been using to fill in my brows are pens. I love the look of the hair-like strokes with a pen. So the one I've been really loving is the Milani Weekend Brow. I have this in soft brown. It's a really great brow pen from the drugstore. Super pigmented. If you're ever finding where you're applying the strokes and then it kind of fades a little bit, just rotate the pen and then you can do that also, and then a little bit of a shaking kind of brings the product down. I love this product. It works really well for giving me those really defined brow-like strokes, and it looks so natural and so beautiful in the brows if you were looking for a pen to try out in your brows. Next is eyeshadow primer. I only use one eyeshadow primer. I think this one would work perfectly for anyone, any needs. This is a really great one. This is the Revolution Eye Elements in Core. I have mentioned this 1,000 bazillion times. A potted eye primer. It kind of covers like a concealer. It gives a ton of coverage, so I have really dark lids. It covers all discoloration, all veinage, anything you might have. If I'm running out the door, this is one of the only products I would grab. For the longest time, I would deal with really creasy eyeshadow looks because I didn't realize, but I have really oily lids. So this is the only primer that I have found that has worked for me to where my eyeshadow never creases. Since the day I started using this, I've never ever dealt with creasy eyeshadow looks ever again. So this is a great one, really inexpensive, and you can find it at Ulta. Next, we're going to move on to eyeshadow products. I have quite a few in this category, but I really love eyeshadow. eyeshadows. So if you were looking for a single eyeshadow, something to add a little zazam to your look, I do have this on my lid today. The Colourpop Super Soft Shadows are my absolute favorite single eyeshadows from the drugstore. They are such an incredible formula. They don't crease, put on top of that primer, and they have really beautiful colors. They look wet on the lid. They have beautiful shine. There are different formulas. There's metallics, there's sheen, there's glitter. I have one shadow. I have two ultra metallic. I'm going to go ahead and swatch these. These three are my absolute most favorite in my collection. So I have Get Lucky. This is the one I am wearing today. It is such a gorgeous gold shadow. This is my favorite gold shadow because it's not super yellowy gold. It's just a really great, almost a neutral gold. It is a great gold shadow that isn't too obnoxious, but it's a really beautiful metallic. Next is Snakebite. I love this bronze. It's not super obnoxious bronze, but it's a really great, almost kind of pinky toned bronze. I'm looking for more of a neutral color. Snakebite is one of my favorites. I like the undertone a lot. It's kind of almost my skin tone, but a bit darker. Really great one. Last one is Nillionair. So this is a brown with really gorgeous kind of pinky glitter. I will swatch there. There is the Nillionair. That is a really beautiful metallic brown. This is a great one shadow and done type eyeshadow. You can apply it, blend up into the crease just a little bit. It has such dimension in this shadow that it really works well and it looks stunning on the lids. The next eyeshadow products that I want to mention are the E.L.F. Bite Size eyeshadows. These are so great, especially if you're a beginner. They're not overwhelming. There's only 4 colors in each of them. This one is in Truffle. I love that there are only 4 colors, so it makes it really easy. So you kind of know what to do. You have a light transition, you have a dark defining color, you have a black that you can do for a liner, you have a beautiful metallic to put all over the lid. I have shown this one in a video before. I really love these eyeshadow palettes just because they are very user-friendly, super easy to apply to the lid. And like I said, with it just being 4 colors, it's not super overwhelming. Sometimes I know eyeshadow palettes can definitely be overwhelming. Another color combination I have is the Hot Jalapeno. This is a really fun, super cool color story. I love greens. They're personally my favorite. If you're brand new to makeup, this might be a little intimidating and you might not love something so bright and colorful, but if you do want to try out something colorful, this is a really great green eyeshadow palette. This is set up just a little bit different because you have 2 metallics, 2 mattes, but I really love the different colors. I think it was put together really well, and these are really inexpensive. So if you are wanting to step your toes just a little bit into eyeshadows, these are great ones because they are inexpensive and there are a ton of color stories. So if there's something you like, maybe mauves, pinks, or more neutrals, there's something for everyone in this formula. A new eyeshadow palette that I did just pick up. It is the majority of what's on my eyes except for the Colourpop. This is the ProFushion. This is the Love You Brunches. ProFushion has an incredible formula of eyeshadows. They're really inexpensive. You can get a large palette with tons of color options for $5. This one is a really cool spring palette. I have talked about this quite a few times here recently on my channel. I love this color story. I think it's really great because it has the neutrals, but it also has really beautiful pops of colors. This is a great spring palette, and ProFushion just has tons of options for different color stories. If you're trying to find some good drugstore eyeshadows, definitely check out ProFushion because I think their formula is great. They're really inexpensive. Another palette that isn't just eyeshadow, but this, of all things of this video, this is what I would suggest the most. It is the biggest bang for your buck. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it on Amazon for normally half the price you would get on the Pysicians formula website. I haven't talked about this in a while, but I should be talking about it all the time because this is the best and most incredible palette. So this is my MurMura Butter full collection. I love this. If you haven't seen this, it is a huge box. It's a little cheaply made, but everything that comes into this is so worth it. You have an entire book of bronzers. If you've never heard of Pysicians Butter Bronzer, they're the most incredibly blendable, creamy bronzers. Really great. You have an entire book of highlighters. You have a really cool stand-up mirror. You have an entire thing of eyeshadows. Their eyeshadows are really great. There are a little bit of hit and miss in this palette, but the majority of neutral everyday colors are really neat. You have an entire book of blushes. The blushes are really great. And then you have an entire book of lip colors. This is a really great traveling palette. This is something that if you have absolutely no makeup, you could get this a foundation, a concealer, and then just be done with your entire collection. This is really worth it. I would honestly just suggest this for anyone that is brand new. My stepdaughter, who's 5, she wants this for her birthday really bad, and I probably will get it for her just because it's anything you could ever want, and she loves playing with makeup, so I think she would like something like this. That's something you could think about too, giving this as a gift to someone that's just getting into makeup, just because it is really great quality, but it's also really inexpensive. 2 other eye products are eyeliners. If I'm going to do a black liner, which I don't do a ton, but I love the NYX, that's the point. It is a tiny little felt tip liner. It's really great if you are not used to doing liner because you have such the tiniest tip, you have lots of room to kind of mess with it, and you can get a really great precise liner with this one without getting too overwhelmed. I find the eyeliners that have huge felt tips or brush tips, they're really easy to get out of hand. This is really great to just get a tiny little precise liner, something you can practice with that won't get overwhelming. For eyeliners, for the bottom waterline, I do have this one on today. It's the cream. These are the Colourpop gel cream liners. Really pigmented, they last forever. They have tons of colors, but if you were looking just for a white, a black, or a cream, I would definitely suggest doing the Colourpop ones. They're really, really great formula. They last forever. They're really inexpensive, and I just love them. And then if you are looking for colors, they have every color under the rainbow. Highly, highly suggest these liners. They're hands down the best from the drugstore. We're going to move to the base. I always start with my primer. I think you can get tons of really great primers from the drugstore. You do not have to spend a lot of money on primers. I think Wet n Wild has some really great ones. I think NYX has some incredible ones. I don't spend a ton of money on primers. So 2 primers I absolutely love. The first one is this Wet n Wild Prime Focus. This is a really great serum primer, extremely hydrating, very glowy, adds a beautiful sheen to your skin without adding glitter. It's just like kind of a glass skin appearance to your face. The foundation goes on really well on top of it. I have dry skin, so I like to have something like this under a matte or full coverage foundation. It just makes it blend so well into my skin. So if you have dry skin, I would highly suggest this one. Another one I use quite a lot during the summer because it is tackier, stickier. If I'm going to do wedding makeup, this is a primer I always do. This is the NYX Honey Do Me Up. I first off love the smell of it. It smells so great. It's kind of a different formula for a primer. It's very sticky, which is probably why they call it the Honey Do Me Up primer. This makes your foundation last all day long because it does adhere to the foundation. It's very sticky when you apply it. It's kind of very slippery, and then as you rub it in, it does get sticky, but it makes the makeup last forever on your face. It smells really great. This is a really great one no matter the type of skin you have because it's not super hydrating, it's a little hydrating, but it works really well to adhere to the makeup, and I think if you have oily skin, this would be a good one. It's a little higher priced for the drugstore, but I personally think it's definitely worth it. And then if you are wanting a more blurring, pore filling primer, the E.L.F. Blurring Primer Serum is a really great one. It comes out white, it's a little bit thicker, but you can really just apply this to the pore area, and it does kind of fill the pores in to where they don't look quite as evident. If you have tons of pores and that's a concern for you, I would suggest this one. I think this is a really great one. For foundation, I think I have kind of covered all the bases, something lightweight, something full coverage, and something very glow. So the one I am wearing today, this is the Wet n Wild. This is a Tinted Hydrator. This is a really great hydrating, sheer to light, kind of buildable coverage hydrator tinted moisturizer. This is what I'm wearing today. I really love the finish of this. I think it looks great. It's very glowy, looks just healthy on your skin. I love this one a lot. One thing to note though, it does have squalane. I kind of have an irritant to squalane, so if I wear this too many days in a row, I will have a couple pimples popping up. So I do save this kind of for a special occasion, kind of like a boat day, something like that, because it will break me out. But if you don't have an irritation to squalane, I would definitely suggest this because I think it's just beautiful. An incredible foundation for someone from young to old. It looks so great. This is the Age Perfect Radiant Serum Foundation from Loreal. This is beautiful. It really does smooth out your skin. When you apply this, you almost look airbrushed. It looks so gorgeous. It's really lightweight, but medium coverage foundation. It does have an SPF of 50, so it's a really great summer foundation. It leaves your skin looking so healthy and so luminous, not glittery or anything, but just beautifully healthy. I love this one. If you are dealing with really really dry skin or aging skin, this is a beautiful one. It just smooths over your skin, it fills in your fine lines, and it just looks flawless. This is gorgeous. If you have oily skin, I would not suggest this one because I think it probably would be just a little bit too hydrating for you. Mature dry skin or younger dry skin, this is a really great foundation. I love the way this makes my skin look. The next one is perfect for dry or oily skin. It is a full coverage foundation. This is the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear. I love this foundation. If I want full coverage and if I want more matte type foundation look, this is the one I go for. This is the one I would wear for a wedding. It is such great coverage. It works really great for my dry skin. It would work really good too if you had oily skin. This is something that would last forever. This is the best foundation from the drugstore if you want coverage, but you don't want it to be too drying. You want it to hold your oils. This is a great all-around best foundation from the drugstore. Next, let's go over some concealers and under eye correctors. I love this Milani Supercharged. This is a brightening under eye tint. I have this in pink. This is great for lighter skin tones. They do have in peach, which is great for medium skin tones. This is such an incredible under eye corrector. If you are needing something for intense under eyes, this is not it. This is very, very sheer, very light, and very hydrating. It doesn't have tons of coverage, but it has just the perfect amount of under eye correcting ability. It makes your under eyes look so hydrating and luminous. This doesn't crease, it doesn't kind of settle into your lines. It looks so beautiful, and it's not super thick or cakey. It doesn't get really gunky under your eyes. This is a really great one. I like to apply this just with my fingers and blend it out. The other concealer I'm wearing along with it is a brand new discovery, my absolute favorite lightweight sheer concealer. This is the Revolution Eye Bright Illuminated Under Eye Concealer with vitamin C. So it has skincare benefits in it. It is a really beautiful lightweight kind of sheer formula. It comes with a little sponge applicator. Not a fan of the applicator, but I do enjoy the product a lot. I like to apply this just to the middle corner on the outer end. I like to let it sit just for a moment. It gets a little bit more coverage, and then I blend it out, and then it is so gorgeous, so beautifully luminous. If you don't like a ton of luminosity to your skin, you probably won't like this. It is very sheer and extremely illuminating, but I love this. I think it would be so beautiful for a summer day. It works really great, and it's not cakey or heavy or gunky. This is really great if you're brand new to makeup and you want something very easy to use that you can't mess up. This is it. Two other concealers that I love are the E.L.F. Camo Concealers. I have the original, and then I have the hydrating. These are really incredible drugstore concealers. The original one, I can only use this during the summer when I get a little bit more oily. I cannot apply too much because it can definitely get a little heavy under my eyes, but I think if you have oily skin, this would be a really great one. It has a huge amount of coverage. It looks really great and seamless under your eyes. A really great dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape. This is great if you are needing full coverage and you have oilier skin. This is something I would also wear for a wedding. And then the hydrating one is definitely my preferred of the two, just because I do like more of that sheeny hydrating look under your eyes. This is really great. This one, you do have to let it sit a little bit longer to get as much coverage as this one. This is like full coverage. But if you let this sit just for a little bit under your eyes, kind of dry down just a little bit, and then you blend it out, it is a really great concealer. It has really great coverage, and it looks super hydrating and flawless under the eyes. I don't really apply a ton of powder just because I do have dry skin, like I've said a bazillion times. But if I'm going to be powdering my face and I'm going to use drugstore, I do have quite a few little options. The first one is the Maybelline Fit Me. This is a cult favorite. This is a beautiful classic powder. It's a very mattifying, long-wearing powder. If you are wanting a very long-wear matte look to your skin, this is a great powder. I do have some of it on today because I did want to show how I could get a glowy look to kind of mattify down something a little bit more wearable for oily skin. New powder that I've discovered from the drugstore that I've absolutely been loving. This is a hard candy. This is the Chilling Wonder powder. This is a hydrating powder. It has a really cooling, almost water-like feel when you apply it. This is a really great dupe for the Becca Hydrating Under Eye Powder. This is a great powder, really inexpensive. I think I spent $5, and if you are wanting a powder, but you want it to be hydrating and not super mattifying, and you don't want it to dry out your skin, this is so great. I like to apply it under my eyes, and I do like to apply just a light layer on my skin. If I am needing any type of powder, it is a translucent powder. I like to have a translucent powder because I do kind of fluctuate through my skin tones during the winter, the spring, the summer. I get darker, I self-tan, so I like having a translucent powder, and this is a really great formula. The next powder is not going to be for everyone. This is something that if you like glowy skin, this will be the powder for you. This is the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder. This is almost like a very sheer highlighter, but it does add a beautiful, flawless appearance to your skin. I will take a big fluffy brush when I'm done with my makeup and just apply a tiny bit all over my face. It's so beautiful. Sometimes I like to skip highlighter on my nose, so I will just apply a little bit of this because it does almost fill in the lines. It looks really flawless. This is a really great setting powder if you were wanting to have that glow still. A lot of finishing powders kind of mattify, take away the glow. I work very hard to get the glow. I love the glow. I want the glow. So I love this powder to maintain the glow and add a little bit extra, and it looks just so flawless. My number one favorite of all time setting spray, one I repurchase every time I see it on sale. Every time I get low, I repurchase. I've gone through a ton. I went through all of my setting sprays today, and I could only keep one. I could throw every single one away and could only keep one. This would be it. It is the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. This is the most perfect, beautiful, glorious spray. It's a continuous setting spray, so it's really soft. It doesn't add huge droplets to your face. It has an incredibly calming, beautiful scent. I rarely have bad makeup days because even when I'm trying new products and even when it turns out like crap, I applied this and it just, for some reason, it's like a magic eraser for my makeup. It just makes everything look gorgeous and beautiful. If you are needing a new spray, if you haven't tried the Morphe, I would definitely suggest the Morphe one. I will say it does not help with the longevity of my makeup. If you are trying to use a spray to make your makeup last, which I rarely have that issue, I would definitely suggest the Milani Make It Last spray. That's a really good one for kind of making your makeup last longer on your face. This one's really good for meshing your makeups together. It's kind of a fixing spray more than a setting spray. Onto bronzer, blush, and highlighter. A few blushes that I would suggest other than the Physician formula. This is the Essence Bespoken Blush. This is an incredibly beautiful, glowy blush. I have it on today, kind of back here, a little bit on top of a cream blush. I will mention it here in a moment. This is a perfectly pigmented blush. You can apply a little bit and get a very sheer application. You can pile it up and you can get a little bit more impact, but it's never going to look too much. I don't think you definitely have to build up to get the really impactful look to your cheeks, but I love that because it is very user friendly, very easy to apply. You don't get too much right off the bat. You get to build it up to the amount of blush you want, and it lasts really long. I love how creamy this formula is, and it looks so good on your cheeks. The next product I did apply underneath that Essence blush is the Burt's Bees All-A-Glow in Sands. This is a lip and cheek stick, so I love this so much. It's kind of a bit more sheer. It's a really beautiful pink, but what I like to do with it is just apply it onto my cheeks, blend it out with my fingers. It's a very easy formula. It does not dry down. It does add a little bit of a glow. It's very hydrating. You can see kind of the hydration core in there. This is such a great cheek product, but what I love most about this product is that it's not only for your cheeks, you can use it on your lips as well, and it is a gorgeous lip color. I did apply this to my cheeks and to my lips in that drugstore tutorial, so please look at that video to see how it looks on your lips. It is such a gorgeous product. If I was going to suggest one blush product, I would suggest this just because you can use it on your lips. So I also like to tap a little bit on my finger and put it up into my crease because I think it kind of brings it all together, and it's a really quick one and done type lip, cheek, and eye product. Highlighters. I love highlighters. I think highlighters are good everywhere. I think every brand pretty much has a really good highlighter, but two of my absolute most favorite is the Wet n Wild. This is the Mega Glow in Precious Petals. This is just the most beautiful classic champagne color. You can see I've got quite a dip in there. I love this so much because it is really inexpensive, but it has such an impact on the cheeks. It looks gorgeous. I am wearing some of that today. That is the glow on my cheeks. I just love this highlighter. I think it's one of the best formulas from the drugstore, and it's also the cheapest from the drugstore. Definitely worth it. They have other colors, but Precious Petals is the perfect light champagne tone for me. I love this one. This is really great. Also, my absolute most favorite highlighter formula of all times, of all highlighters in existence, is the Colourpop Super Shock Cheek. This one is in Wisp. This is my favorite of all the ones they have. It's a really beautiful gold, but it's extremely wearable. It looks like my skin tone when I have a nice little tan, and then this just kind of blends really beautifully into it. If you've never used Colourpop highlighters, these ones are so great. I definitely suggest the Super Shock Cheeks. They're beautiful. In my top 5 bronzers ever are the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzers. Those are beautiful. So I love that you can get so many options in that palette. Some other bronzers that I absolutely love is the Wet n Wild. This is a Sunset Strip Tease. This is a really great wearable neutral color. It has really great pigment. I am wearing that today. You can kind of see the bronze on my cheeks and up on my forehead. This is a really great and expensive one. If I was to go to the drugstore and buy one bronzer for someone that needs a bronzer, it would either be this one or the Physicians Butter Bronzer. Those are the two most beautiful, middle of the road, glowy, really wearable, easy to apply, easy to blend bronzers. I love them. If you are needing a matte baked bronzer, something that doesn't have a ton of kick up in the pan, something that you can use for a contour, this is the Milani. This is the O2 Sun Kissed. This is the best contour powder from the drugstore. It is such a great powder. It really has a beautiful baked formula to where you don't apply too much. You can contour wherever you need. I use a smaller brush to do a contour to my nose. This is a great matte bronzer. So if you're wanting something that's matte and not glowy at all, the Milani ones are so great, and the Sun Kissed O2 is incredible for contouring. I would like to do a contour video just to kind of show you how I do apply these type of products, but this is a really great one. Next, if you are wanting to do cream bronzer, which I love more than anything, one of my favorite products is cream bronzing. The E.L.F. cream contour palette is the best from the drugstore. I love this palette so much. There's a cool contouring color, there's a kind of warmer medium, and then there's a warmer dark. I love this because I can use it at all times of the year. It is an incredible formula, super blendable. I like to use a dual fiber brush. I tap it into the product and I just gently apply it. It's such a great product. If you're wanting to dip a little bit into cream bronzer, go with this one. It's so inexpensive and it has multiple colors to kind of work with, just to kind of see what will work best for you. But I love this one because you can contour with, but you can also bronze, and then you do have that deeper color in case you're needing something a little bit deeper. I don't really use the cream color, but you do have that option as well. So my final category is lips. I have a ton of lips, but I do want to cover all of the different categories, all the different finishes, everything you could possibly want. So let's start with lip liner. If I could only have one lip liner in my entire collection, it would be Colourpop's Beeper. I love Colourpop's formula. It is very creamy, but it does last really well. You can blend it into your lip line and it looks so nice. It's not drying. It doesn't just disappear when you apply it. Colourpop has the most incredible liners. Beeper is my favorite. It goes with anything. I could grab any lipstick, put it with Beeper, and I would love it. I am wearing it today. I love how it looks on my lips. It is a kind of darker mauve. I will go ahead and swatch the lip products just because they're my favorite. So there it is. It is a really great kind of darker, kind of browny mauve. I love this lip liner with absolutely any lipstick I've ever worn it with. I'm going to continue on with the combo I am wearing today. So I do have the Beeper liner, and then I have the Loreal Color Riche in Glossy Fawn. These are such an incredibly glossy, beautiful lipsticks. So there is that. They're not super pigmented. They're a little bit sheer, which is kind of why I like them, because they're really foolproof. You can apply it and then it will just fade away into nothing. It's not going to leave any weird gunk on your lips. It's not going to leave any weird lines. They're not going to look drying. I will actually just apply a little bit more because it kind of has faded. So you can just see how beautifully glowy and just gorgeous this lipstick is. I've almost used this one up. I will continue to buy more. I do have another color that's a little more grayish. They have really beautiful colors in this formula. They last on the lips a good amount of time for being so glossy and hydrating. They're not a drying lipstick at all, but they just look so beautiful and they make your lips look plumper than they did before. One of the other lipsticks that I absolutely love, and I love this formula, this is the NYX Suede Matte Lipstick. So this is a matte lipstick, but it is not drying. It feels like velvet on your lips. I love the formula of this lipstick, and it is in Dainty Days. It's the most perfect, really light pinky nude. So I'll do a dark lip liner, apply this. It lasts so long on the lips, and it is so comfortable. It's my favorite matte formula for lipsticks because it feels like velvet, but it has a really nice matte finish. I don't like lipsticks where 20 minutes after you apply it, you have to check your lips in a mirror because you know there's going to be some type of weird residue. I want it to just fade gracefully. I don't mind if it doesn't last very long, but the most important thing is that it fades gracefully so that I can just kind of tap it off and reapply it and it looks great. And this is one that does that. It is a really opaque formula, so you get lots of payoff from it, but it doesn't fade weird. Another lipstick formula I love, this is the Wet n Wild Glossy. This is made for mauve. I love this tone. This is a really beautiful, glowy, glossy lip. It has really good opacity. It's a really beautiful color. Has a ton of glow. It looks a lot like the L'Oreal ones, but the only thing about this is that it doesn't last quite as long. It does fade a little bit faster, but I really love this tone of color and I love the glow that it has. It's really inexpensive. I think it's $3. The L'Oreal one is probably closer to $8 or $9. It's almost the same formula. It does just fade a little bit faster, but it's super inexpensive. So you're needing a really quick, inexpensive lipstick. This is a great one. My most favorite pink lipstick of all times is the Maybelline Superstay Ink in Lead the Way. This is a really cool crayon. I love it because you can just twist it up. There is a sharpener on the other end so you can keep the point sharp at all times. I will do a swatch. There is that lipstick. It's such a beautiful, neutral, natural pink. This is something, if I want a pink lip, this is what I'm going to go to every time. I like it because you don't need a liner. You can just line your lips, fill it in. It lasts forever. So when you put it on, it's very creamy, and then as you wear it, it does dry down almost to a matte lipstick, but it is not drying at all. It doesn't make them look dry or chapped. It just makes your lips not transfer, and they have full opacity, and it lasts forever. This is one of the longest lasting not liquid lipstick formulas. It lasts so long on your lips. It looks so good, and I love the color so much. If you're looking for a pink that I think would fit pretty much any skin tone except for maybe the darkest, deepest, this is a really great pink. The NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams are one of my most used, most repurchased, and longest loved lipsticks. I have this in Cairo and London. It's a really great, super easy formula to wear. They're super comfortable. They last a long time. They've been on the market probably the longest of all these lip products, but these are so great. I love them because they're not uncomfortable. They're not super dry, but they last a long time, and they smell like vanilla. They have really good payoff, and they have really incredible nude colors. Another new discovery to my collection that I really love, this is the Wet n Wild Cloud Pout Marshmallow Lip Mousse. This is a really great formula. It smells just like marshmallow, which I really like. It's a kind of like a velvety, soft, matte liquid lipstick. It does dry down. It doesn't transfer. It is really beautiful, but it's not super drying. It actually has a really incredible formula. They're almost like the NYX Matte Lip Cream. This is a really great one. I love the colors, and I love this one. This one is in Pour Sugar on Me, and this is a really beautiful spring bright pink color. It looks beautiful if you apply it with a dark lip liner. It has a really beautiful, like, springy, very neon-y look, but when toned down with a neutral lip liner, it looks gorgeous. It looks really great with the Colourpop beeper. My last product I want to mention is the lip gloss. I have two different formulas. I love the E.L.F. Lip Plumping Gloss. I have it in Peach Bellini, which is a really great kind of milky nude. And then I have Pink Cosmos, which is a really beautiful milky pink. They have a perfect amount of plumping for your lips. They don't feel uncomfortable. They're not burning in any way. I'm not really sure if they actually plump your lips, but they do give you that cooling, tingling feeling for $4. I really love the formula. They last a really good amount of time, and I love the different colors that they have, and I love these like milky kind of creamy nudes. I think they work really great with the type of lip combos that I like. Final lip gloss is the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. These are like a Fenty Gloss Bomb type dupes. I have this in Silk. It is a really beautiful light mauve color. It works really well with all of the colors that I like to wear. It lasts a really long time. It has a beautiful shine to it. I would like to get some of the other colors, but this is a really great formula. Lasts forever. Smells way better than the Fenty. The Fenty kind of smells fruity. This one smells like cake. I love how it smells. This is a really beautiful gloss. I really enjoy this one a lot. So there is my drugstore starter kit. Sorry if this video was a little bit longer, but I definitely wanted to cover all the bases, not just products that would work for me and my skin, but products that might work for other people as well. Whatever your needs are, whatever you're looking for, I wanted to have something for you in this video. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know some of your favorite drugstore products down below, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye guys.